Hey guys, DynastyWarriors6 here again with another top 10 favorite video. This actually top 10 favorite comes from a great YouTuber named Asian Sleepy. He had actually suggested this idea and I hadn't even thought of it. He had suggested the idea of top 10 favorite warrior games, like the series Dynasty Warriors, Samurai Warriors, all those kind of games made by Koei. So this is kind of like a top 10 favorite Koei games. Every single one of these games is games kind of based around the same time period with the same kind of characters overall, but just top 10 favorite of each of these games, except there is like two that aren't part of it, but they are like Dynasty Warriors related. Most of these are hack and slash, but there are a couple that are not. So this is a top 10 favorite, but there is an honorable mention, so we're going to do the honorable mention first. And this one could have been number 10, but it just didn't happen for me. And it is Warriors Orochi 3 is the honorable mention for. It was definitely close to like number 10, but I like the game a ton. It's got a lot of characters and a lot of replay value, but I think that's the biggest problem is there's too much. For me, there's too much replay value. All it is grinding basically and leveling the characters up and character growth and trying to get the weapons and stuff like that. And that can get kind of old after a while. You can only play Dynasty Warriors for so long before the hack and slash wears off on it sometimes. But this game is a great game. There's a lot of great characters. Ryu Hayabusa from Dead or Alive is in it. Anya from Dead or Alive is in it. Ninja Gaiden Ryu, that guy. So there's a lot of great characters. Joan of Arc is in it, and as well as Achilles, Warriors Legend of Troy. But this game was honorable mention. I felt that I needed to say honorable mention on Warriors Orochi 3. But anyways, now to the top 10 of favorite games. So, of course, 10 through 1, start at the bottom. Number 10 for top 10 personal favorite Dynasty Warriors kind of games is Dynasty Warriors Gundam, the first one. I actually have not played 2 or 3 yet. I really want to, but I want to get them on PS3, and they're a little bit more uncommon on the PS3. Dynasty Warriors Gundam, when I first heard of it, I was really excited because I'm a big fan of of Gundam and Gundam Wing and Gundam Seed and G Gundam and all the Gundams you can possibly say, so there's no point in saying them all. But I love the hack and slash of it. I do like the fact that a lot of the voice actors did come back to reprise their roles, but there are some that didn't, like Domon Kashu didn't come back, Hiro didn't come back, and I think there's a couple others. But Judah Ashta's voice actor came back for this game, but he didn't come back for the other ones. But anyway, that's just a technicality. The game is great, good storyline, a lot of level grinding though, and it can be fairly tough if you're playing by yourself. It does help to have a co-op player on it. It helps to beat some of the bosses with a co-op player. So, gotta get, Dynasty Warriors Gundam, number 10. Number 9 is a game that I had to hunt for a while, and I actually ordered online. I could not find it anywhere in my stores. I called Best Buys, GameStops, Targets. Nobody had it, and it is number 9, Warriors Legends of Troy. If you've never played this game, and you see it, and it's like you can rent it or something like that from a Redbox or something, or you see it and it's really cheap, I would recommend getting it if you're a big fan of the Odyssey and the Odyssey, like the Trojan War. It's a very, very accurate historical, like in a sense that it really brings in everything that happened in the war, like how many people really died, what happened, who won, who lost, what really happened. The voice acting is pretty good. I like Achilles, though he is like very murderous. He just does whatever he wants. It does take moves from the movie. Like there are certain, like the Troy movie with Brad Pitt, like there's certain moves that Achilles does that are like, okay, that was Brad Pitt and what he did in Troy. So it's kind of funny. Though Achilles is definitely a badass. He's an animal when it comes to fighting. And he's like the best character in the game. But of course, as everyone knows, Achilles dies eventually. But he dies kind of historically accurate, like to the story, not like what Troy did, having him survive to the Trojan horse. So he does die before that, which he should. Great game though, well done voice acting, and very intense, very emotionally driven, and very just intense. So number 9. Number 8 Number 8 is another PS3 title, and it is one of my current favorite Dynasty Warriors games that I've been play off and on. But it is Dynasty Warriors 7. Dynasty Warriors 7 for me is amazing. The voice acting is great. The storyline is fantastic. The fact that they finally brought in the Jin storyline is just great. A lot of the heroes die, as kind of like Warriors Legends of Troy. That's why I think I like this one so much more. Is that a lot of the warriors die? Not you hear about, you see Liu Bei die, you see Cao Cao die, you don't see Sun Quan dying, but you see he died eventually, and it gets a really good. You actually get to hear like historically kind of what happened after everything. Unlike all the other Dynasty Warriors games where it does like all these what ifs, like what if Wu won, what if Wei won, what if Shu won, these different characters who won, what happened to them. No, it takes actually like a historical point and just makes it that. So that's pretty good. Number 7 is Samurai Warriors 2 on Xbox 360. I have played this one on PS3. The 360 version, I just got used to it, and I like the Samurai Warriors 2. The voice acting is nice. The battles are fairly large, though they can be difficult at times with just how reinforcements come in at really the worst points in the game, honestly, and you have to race back and defeat them before they destroy your main camp all the time. But it's a great game, a lot of great characters, you can't go wrong there, a lot of great cinematographic movies, just like that, good cutscenes. Good characters. Ieyasu, Tadakazu Honda are great. I like, they're probably my favorite guys out of the whole series. So great game. Great game. Number 9, 8, 7, 6. Yeah, I always have trouble with that. 6 is Kessen 3. Now, this is a very strategic game. It is kind of hack and slash because when you use the unit, you can hack, like you can slash and like do hack and slash with them. It's kind of interesting. Kessen 3 is interesting just for the fact that it's really in-depth on Nobunaga's current expedition and how he goes about trying to unify Japan. And then, it's Kessen, so it's a very good game in a sense of, the battle, who you can recruit. You can recruit a lot of generals. You have to find kind of and defeat in the field. It's kind of weird, but kind of cool at the same time. If you ever get the chance, if you've never played Kessen 3, definitely check it out. It is pretty historically accurate till after Nobunaga's supposed, when Nobunaga died, they take a what if he has survived, and then they make the story continue from that. So Nobunaga lives, and it shows kind of like what would happen if Nobunaga lived. And also, if you beat it on the hardest difficulty, there is an extra battle, an extra scene at the end of the game, too. So if you do get it and you try it on the hardest difficulty, there's this extra scene. 5. Number 5 is Kessen 3 was great, but Kessen I thought was amazing when I first got the game. It does show its age now. It's nowhere near some of its predecessors, some of the successor games that came out later. But Kessen is and for me, I thought, and it still is, a great game. It's very historically accurate in a sense that it really shows how these battles kind of happened, how defections could occur, what could happen during battle, just everything like that. And it's a really intense game if you are... There's always a point in a battle where you could lose, and if the enemy does capitalize, you've lost, basically. So there is a chance you can lose. It's a great game. The voice acting is... I like Ieyasu's voice actor. He's really kind of loud and leader-like, but there's some other voice actors that are kind of what are you gonna do? But Kessen's a great game. I preferred it over Kessen 3. Kessen 2 though, I don't like Kessen 2. I own it, but I don't like it just for the fact that it really lost touch with everything. But number 4, and this one is one of my favorite games I played and beaten quite a few times with every story. Though I do try to unlock all the epilogues and stuff and all the prologues, and it's Dynasty Tactics 2. The only sad thing is you can play as Lu Bu now, but I would have rather had been Cao Cao and gotten Lu Bu on my team like in the first Dynasty Tactics game, but in this game it changed it up a great deal. But this game is still very good. I love the storylines behind it, like kind of the what ifs. You can decide your own path of who you want to conquer first. Do you focus mostly on the Shu? Do you focus on Wu? Do you attack Liang? Do you attack the north? Do you instead go south? It really gives you a lot of options of what you're going to do, and it changes the story. You still can win. It's just it can make it more difficult or a lot easier. So very good storyline. I like the what ifs. The what ifs in this are really cool. The fact that you get training and experience, and your generals get better, your army gets better, and you're trying to land those combos and those tactics. Good game. Very nice game to play. but no hack and slash. So that's the difference between these two. There's no hack and slash in these two games. None. Number 3, and it's kind of funny, it is 3. It is Dynasty Warriors 3, number 3 spot. Dynasty Warriors 3 is just like, I remember playing this game in the mall, and I wasn't really into Dynasty Warriors. This was when PS2, had, little stands and you could play PS2 games on them. And this game was one of the demos, and it was the Battle of Hulao Gate in Dion Way, and someone had paused it. So I walked up as like any other kid and was just like, all right, I'm going to try it out. I tried it out. I fell in love with the game. I didn't know what it was, though, but I really wanted to get it. So I started looking around. I finally saw some like YouTube footage or something on the internet about this game, and I went out and bought it. This copy is my original copy that I bought, and I fell in love with the game. I loved the storyline. I love the hack and slash of it. I'm a big hack and slash fan, so this was just great. The graphics definitely show their age now. The voice acting shows its age now. This game shows its age a lot now, especially Dynasty Warriors 2. But 3 was a little bit better because there was voice acting throughout the game. 2 didn't have voice acting throughout the game, like during the battle. But 3 was awesome. Big, large-scale battles. It really felt like you were in the middle of a huge war. So that was always cool. So 3 got me into the Koei and Dynasty Warriors and all that stuff. So 3 for 3. Number 2 is Dynasty Warriors 5 Empires. Dynasty Warriors 5 Empires was awesome, and just for the fact that there was so much you could do with conquering and building up and stuff like that and taking over territory, the cards you could use. I played Dynasty Warriors 6 Empires, and I own that one, and I have all the other Empire games, and they're all great. I'm not arguing, but 5 was just, I think 5 is still the best one out of all of them. And Dynasty Warriors 5 had, great cast of characters, of course, because they had all the Dynasty Warriors 5 guys, so they did lose some of the voice actors, I noticed. But it's a good game, and you can hire generals, and you can go into battle with them. They can complain to you about stuff. You can suffer, I think, defections occasionally from some generals if they're not really, supposed to be on your side. So it's an interesting game. But number 2, Dynasty Warriors 5 Empires. And number 1 is my favorite Dynasty Warriors game ever, and it is Dynasty Warriors 4, regular. Not Empires or anything like that, but Dynasty Warriors 4 was, for me, just that, like, it had Dynasty Warriors 3 elements in it, but it was better because you could hop off the horse while the horse was galloping, because in Dynasty Warriors 3 you had to stop the horse and then get off, so that was a huge addition, because, that kind of sucked when you had to stop the horse instead of just hopping off. The voice actors were really good. The battles you could choose to do were really good. You could, decide... there was the main battle, which would progress the storyline, but there was 2 side battles you could do before the main battle, which would give you experience and better weapons or something like that. And then you could go, that would affect the main battle, because in the main battle wouldn't have certain characters show up possibly because you prevented them from being reinforcements. So it was really cool that they actually incorporated that idea in there. Sometimes I wish they would still do that with the current games. I can see why they don't do it though. But Dynasty Warriors 4 was just an amazing game. I love the voice acting. A lot of the current voice actors, not all of them, but a lot of the current ones for current characters came out of this game and are still, because of this game, are still with it. They started off here and then they continued on. I don't think any of the Dynasty Warriors 3 voice actors made it beyond after Dynasty Warriors 3. But 4 was great. Lubu seemed really badass in this game besides Dynasty Warriors 3. He seemed really hard. And and the coolest thing was dueling. You could get onto a one-on-one duel with the guy, and you could defeat him in a duel. And if you did that, you prevented, him killing all your allies, which was sometimes really helpful. And you could develop a rivalry between your guy. You could duel in one area, one campaign, and the next the next area, you could duel again and again and again. And then eventually, when they're supposed to die, or after a certain battle, they die. And it's that's pretty cool that you can keep dueling and develop a rivalry. So, great game. Dynasty Warriors 4 is my top #1 favorite Dynasty Warriors game. Sadly, I have not played it in quite a while, though. But it's still a great game. So, that's it, guys. So, top 10 through 1. Dynasty Warriors, Samurai Warriors, Dynasty Tactics, all those kind of games. Plus an honorable mention. As we all know, honorable mention on that one. So thanks for tuning in. Big shout out to Asian Sleepy for the idea of doing this. I didn't even think of this. I should do maybe more top 10s, like we're maybe next time top 10 of RPGs or something like that, or top 10 action games or fighting games. But thanks for tuning in, guys. We will have a video on Sunday, definitely. And I'll see you later in the week.